Amit, why don't you go ahead and kick it off?
Yes, sir. So first thing I want to ask, John, did you get chance to test external messages? What do I make the changes? I pinged you that
Yeah,
day.
yeah, we've tested some.
Hmm. Is there any changes required or is it looking good?
Let's wait for Todd to show up and we can ask him some more on that.
Jerry, do you have access to the Twilio account?
Um, what particular access? But I have dashboard access.
Well, we went through um, some credits a lot faster than we ever have historically, and I suspect it has to do with the external messaging.
Well, Zane had me send out a notification, an SMS blast Saturday.
It was before that.
Oh, but yeah, probably. Let me sign into it.
Did that SMS go out on behalf of Twilio or One Signal?
Twilio.
Will you?
Oh. Let me see for sure when it was. Twilio. Well, I funded it on Saturday. What time did you send? Yeah, that might have been what it was.
Yeah, he wanted to target like 15,000 users.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well, okay. That at least explains that.
Were y'all aware of that?
Well, I was aware the text was going out. I didn't know that it was going to be done through Twilio. I thought it was going to be done through One Signal.
One Signal's weird with sending out the SMS. I don't think we've sent out SMSs via One Signal.
Maybe not, but I know that we can
It-
and even pay for some amount of them.
Yeah, I think they have to like subscribe to it as well or something.
Oh, yeah, there might be something around that.
Yeah, I know we used mobile text alerts, but I don't have access to that, and I just use Twilio.
No, it's probably
Great.
better you use Twilio than mobile text alerts for that one.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Then after I tested is silent push notification for group, and from the backend it is working fine. So like, is it integrated? Did you find any problem there? Silent and pause notification.
No. Well, it's not tested, but integration-wise, it's complete.
Okay.
It's good to go.
So I need someone to test it. That too. Then after I connect with Jerry regarding next task, and it's like currently he doesn't have anything, so I'll continue working on just test cases.
Well, I don't want you to work on any new test cases.
Yep, not new test cases. What I have written, integrating with the pipeline.
Yeah, we need it in the pipeline.
Yes. John, is there anything I can work?
Yeah, Todd was having trouble with his notifications again. I don't know if you mentioned that to you, Jerry. But,
Yeah, I worked with them on it. I'm almost thinking it's a problem with the process of clearing the app cache. How Todd clears the app cache before he onboards.
Mhm.
It's almost like there's some disconnect. I spot checked some Android users that have been in the app for a long time.
Mhm.
Like Ralph Ferguson, I checked his notifications all the way back to January on like 2.1.84. He went through all the updates. He never re-onboarded, and he never had an interruption in his push notifications.
Okay.
Happened I saw is for Todd, his account, like his player ID, reverted back to another player ID he had from 2 weeks ago that wasn't receiving push notifications. I'm like, I have all the logs I need. I was able to send us to One Signal. I have all the logs. I have timestamps and everything. But because after I ran some spot checking and did not see any issues, I'm almost thinking it's because of the like the cache clear. Because Todd does re-onboard from his account.
So you don't think it's happening to anybody else?
I don't think it's happening to people who use the app normally.
All right. Is this something Amit could look into?
No, this is I have the data. I sent it to One Signal.
Okay. Okay. Let me know how that goes.
I have Danny CC'd on the chain.
Okay. Okay. Why don't you continue with your update?
Yeah. One Signal just gathering data for Todd. I have like a whole timeline like going back to April for him. But then I spent time checking users going back to January, like if they had any interruptions between now and January, and no, not when they update the app. So that's why I think it's internal users. I sent out that notification blast for the SMS blast for Zane Saturday. Now he wants to send out a push notification, but I sent in development and I sent in our internal group for a bug that looks like when you're clicking a link to join a group from a push notification and the app is in a cold start, that the deep link doesn't work. And I didn't test with any other deep links. I was away. I was out of town at the time. I just was testing with that push notification and it did not work when the app was in a cold start. When the app was like warm start, like in the background, it worked fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm confused on how that. Well, one, how we missed it, and then why there's a difference. Like, is that where does that even get controlled, from the front end or back end?
All front end.
Okay. Who do you want to talk to about that?
Who has time?
Well, who worked on that the most? Is that Amin with the deep links and dynamic links?
Yeah, true.
Okay. So, Amin, did you catch that?
Yeah, also I read the Slack messages, so yeah, I can look into it.
Okay. Okay.
Let me know if you need me to send you some push notifications because it's well, John, this was a type of push notification. We don't send this out. Like we don't send this type of notification out only manually.
Except when we did it 2 days ago.
Well, I didn't send it out 2 days ago, but like, yeah, this is only done manually.
Mm-hmm.
It's not part of like any testing flow. It's just something that we trigger on demand. So if it wasn't caught then, maybe it was working in a previous version. I don't know, but I tested in 27
Yeah.
and I got that
Does it-
result.
Does Amin have an example of the one that didn't work?
I can queue him up for him when he's ready. I have to send them manually.
I mean, yeah, that notification, if it has a deep link, just send me the deep link. That would be enough. I can test it.
Yeah.
First
Okay.
link.
Yes. I'll send that to you. And then once you have it working, oh, this is for production though. Let me get you one that works for QA.
Okay. You mean like the schema, or because what do you mean like we have a deep link for QA and deep link for? It should be the same.
Well, like the ID at the end
Oh, the ID. Okay,
because it's a link to join a group.
okay, got it.
Amit, Jerry, you can take a look too, but Amit, I think you're the one who's going to see this. I'm sending this into development.
Okay.
The change you made for the date being the perspective of the user for events somehow got messed up. You can see the end date here on an event is the same end date as when the user created the event, but not the start date. So like somehow the start date is a week after the end date, which is obviously impossible. In fact, you can't even do that on the front end.
I'm checking. So what is in database date? Let me check.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Continue, Jerry.
I sent Amin the deep links that he needs.
Okay.
He said that he can do it, and then once he wants to test from a push notification, I can send him a push notification.
Okay. All right. And what else do you have going on starting today for the rest of the week?
I have a pretty big refactor I'm starting on today, and this is something that kind of addresses a couple of issues y'all had over the weekend. So, John, do you remember how you were saying that Tori left the group and she was still visible in the members list?
Yeah.
And that was because, okay, the source of truth, the database said she was not in the group. However, the issue being is that from our backend, we use a data loader to cache on the server memory level the data from other queries. And we have, at a minimum, 3 servers running on the backend at all time. What happens is whenever you remove yourself from the group, the server that processes the request clears its own data cache, but it does not send a signal to the other 2 servers to clear their data cache. And so you could get potentially stale data from that scenario until the other 2 servers clear their data cache from processing someone else's request. So that's why it fixed itself eventually.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refactor all of our data loaders to use Redis to communicate with each other. We want the caching to still be on the server, but we're going to have a Redis subscription that's used only by the backend, that when one receives a signal to clear itself, it's going to let all the other servers know that they need to clear themselves.
I see.
So while I'm at it, I'm going to look at some other things and see if we can update our data loader library and see if there's anything that we can do, because I'm noticing that when we do clear the data loader cache, that we have to like reload it. And sometimes that could cause some queries to take a while. Like Danny was saying something about group topics. So that kind of ties into there, that when we have to reload our data cache, we're reloading the entire cache, and we can be selective about what we reload and only load what we need at the time. So I'm going to rewrite it and update the library to support that partial revalidation when we need it. So I think that almost might be what could have been happening in the What's Streaming chat. Danny said that there was some sluggish loading times on it. He said maybe 5 seconds it took the topics to load. It wasn't a
Yeah, happened for me too.
okay, yeah, it was 5 seconds.
You're about that, yeah.
Wasn't horrible, but could be better. And I think I know why, because I came across this Friday. I started on it Friday, but it's a pretty big refactor.
Okay. So you'll be working on that.
Yeah, that's a pretty big refactor. And then still I need time with Amin to work on adding that chat admin. Friday, it pretty much took most of my day working on that ticket, because Twilio has a very very unconventional way of sending messages, like sending images to conversations. Because the way our external chats work in Twilio is they're called conversations. And if you want to upload an image to a conversation, what you have to do is you have to separately upload that image to Twilio servers, and then Twilio has to parse the file and then send it to the SMS client, which is like your phones and all that. Well, Twilio was having a really hard time parsing through the image file that was giving it. And come to find out, there was some weird thing going on with Cloudinary, and our ticket doesn't even come from Cloudinary. So it took a while to figure that out, because it ended up getting to the logs in Twilio. But once I got that, I sent you the example, John, Friday, of how the ticket's going to look. So it won't send the separate chat thread, but it's not going to send an invite either. It's just going to send the ticket in that chat thread when you get tagged.
I see. Okay. You're working on that too then?
Well, that was pretty much what took most of Friday. That, and then when I first uncovered the data loader.
Yeah.
Y'all can I think I pushed that out in production too. Y'all can test the ticket.
Okay, as far as like external tagging somebody.
Yeah, external tag.
Okay. Okay, will do.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
All right.
John,
Yeah.
I checked about it. I think mistakenly he selected 24th of April. So like
No,
uh,
you
yeah.
can't even do that on the front end.
But I can see the database. So I think we can add by validation in API side also that event in date should not be less than start date. That thing we can add it validation in backend side also. Let me share my screen. I will show you.
Okay.
See here.
Your screen's not.
Even in date.
Your screen's not sharing.
Not so. I see. Set. Oh, sorry. It's not set. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
So here even in date time, 24th of April 2025, 1926.
Yeah, I just want to confirm that's even possible because we've tested this before and it's not possible to create an event. That has an end date before the start date. Let me test something.
I mean, what was it created?
It's created on 1 minute. 24th 2025.
24th of April. Okay.
Yep. And yeah, 24th of April. So let me check it 1 minute. The same scenario, let me repeat it inside the chat.
Yeah, it doesn't. The front end is not letting me do that. I suspect it had to do with when you made the change to the back end on it.
No, the 24th, we did not make any changes.
That's not what I'm saying. No, so I was explaining this when I first told you about it. Remember you're changing the location to match the time zone of the user,
Yes.
right? Who creates it? That's when these numbers changed. So because of what you did, the end date now reflects when the user created it.
Well, let me see if I can find when Zane created the event.
That's all right. Sounds good. I mean, I'm trying to create one with a mismatch like that, and it won't let me.
And this was Zane that created the event April 24th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I asked him about it too.
Well, I'd really like to find a session replay. That would be that would be pretty much enough proof that we need.
Yeah. Or I can maybe find other events too. Let's see. I'll go look at some more.
And where did he create the event?
April, 25th of April.
Yeah. I have a lot of session replays from him, but
Hmm.
trying to find. Okay, I see where the event. The event is here, and then okay, so this replay has the event, but I want to go where he makes it.
John,
Mm-hmm.
try one thing and give future date. Okay.
Okay.
And in date did not give anything and
How
try
do
to create.
and how do I have an end date with no end date?
So I just created an event. So what I did, I have given June date, and in date is coming as May, going as 5th of May, today's date.
And how would I make a end date with no date?
I will tell you 1 minute.
Oh, do you do something with like a all day event?
Yeah, all day event. Yeah. No, all day event is turned off. I turn off all day event, and
Okay.
uh, I have given a start date 1st of June. I'm confirming it. In date is also coming 1 June then inside the app, but 1 minute.
And you're doing this from the app?
Yes. Let me check what's going there. API. Say again. It's created. Yep. A start date in future. In date is today's date. So let me check what's going to the API.
Okay. Let's multitask because I got a few other things I want to get these guys to look into. Ismail, I have a question for you. Is it possible to keep the conversation, the list view from scrolling at all, moving at all when a new message comes in? It kind of jumps if you're in it and a new message comes in.
The list view. Can you be more
Yeah.
specific?
The conversation?
Are you talking about the chat and chat?
Yeah. The chat conversation.
You don't want it to move when somebody's in it?
If a message comes in, what happens is it starts jumping around. It's kind of
Really?
erratic, even a reaction.
So like you're just at the okay. I never seen that jumping. Let me see what you're talking about here.
Yeah. Here I got a screen record. Let me throw this into development channel for you, or I can send this to you directly. The message, the conversation feed list view is really jumpy in general. Just take a look at the screen record I'm sending. Hopefully, it doesn't lose too many frames, so you can really see how it jumps a lot. And I'm wondering if some of the changes you made around like preventing the duplicates or cache issues are causing it to not be as smooth as it was. I know it's not as smooth as it once was ever since iOS 18 because none of the list views in any React Native apps are, because like I use the Walmart app as a test because they use React Native, and even their list their list view is not perfectly smooth, but it's not as bad as ours.
Okay, so as far as the scroll, I honestly don't know how much of like we like as far as being we like I feel like we optimize this to the best of our ability. Like me and we all worked on this. Um, I feel like it's optimized, like you said. If iOS 18 is gonna give us a hard time scrolling because this is a lot of content. I don't know how much we can fix of that. Now, the other one you're talking about, where the jumpiness comes in, that's when you got a new message.
I think that's what happened.
No, that's exactly what happened because I see the notification that popped up just a second ago, and when you scroll down, I see that I see that new message come in.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact you got a new message while you were scrolling, so it caused that extra
Mhm.
jump because right now, if I'm not scrolled all the way down, if I'm like, if you go like scroll up just a little bit and then send yourself a message, the
Mhm.
screen will jump a little bit to accommodate for that new message that just came in. So for you, it happened while you were scrolling. So it felt extra jittery.
Even if you're not scrolling though, it will move.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Has it not always done that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember.
It's
I
something
messed.
that it would have always done if it's doing it now. And the reason it's doing it is because it's adding a new message. Mm, so do we not want it to do that when it
No.
adds a new message?
No, I tested it with iMessage. It doesn't move.
Mm, okay, then I'll have to see how we can do that with Flashlist.
Okay.
But yeah, that extra like jump you saw was because you got a new message, and I mean the screen recording you see that you get a notification,
Mm-hmm.
and when you scroll down you see that message there, so that added to it. But again, we've talked about the smoothness scrolling a lot. I don't know how much more we can optimize chat. I mean, we're following pretty much all best practices here.
Okay.
Um,
Well, removing that jump, if a message or reaction comes in, will help.
yeah.
That'll help a lot.
So
Because you
I'll
don't
see
really
how
know
we
when
can
message
do
comes in.
that.
'Cause the notification does not line up exactly for when the message comes in. Like you can get the notification long after.
Yeah,
the
I know. And if you see that is the case here because if you go to the screen record, if you slowly go back, you see the message that you got
Oh yeah.
where it says, you know, what TF the function, uh, or where, and then if you go a few seconds later, that's when you get the notification. So they were not 100% in sync, but you did get that notification while you were scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
Almost certain.
Yeah. Well, I mean that would be a big improvement because especially as these group chats are growing, they're getting a lot more activity. So you can
Mhm.
get messages coming in every few seconds.
Um,
It's making a jump around.
yeah. So I'll see. If I'll add that to my to-do list here.
Okay. What else you got going on? We didn't get a build on Friday, did we?
No, just give me 1 second. Let me take this note down.
Okay. What's up on it?
So I figured out what is happening. So what you need to do, John, click on create private event, select future date for a start date, and in date don't select anything. Just keep what it is coming showing there. And
Okay.
if you will hit on create event, a start date will be future date, but in date will be the current date. And I can see here a app is passing that date here. Jerry, you can also see here.
Even though the front end is showing me.
Yep, front end is passing in date as incorrect to API.
I just tested and confirmed that. So it seems like the state isn't properly reflecting what it's showing. Even though the date picker is updating its display value, it's not actually changing the value that gets into the back end.
Okay. Okay. Ismail worked on that too. So, Jerry, will you explain how you do it again?
Yeah, Ismail, you go to create event and you select a future start date. Do not touch the end date, and then hit create. And then you'll see that the end date is the current date.
Is that iOS, Android, or both?
I'm on iOS.
I am also on iOS side.
So you select start date, but you
And it-
don't select the end date, and then they would be pretty much the same, right?
No, the end date is going to be the current date.
Really?
Even though the front end is showing it later, right? Because that's the thing. The front end shows it as matching. the
Yeah.
image.
Correct. So it sounds like some state is not getting updated before sending it.
Okay. Okay. Let me take a note of that.
So this one you can see here, I have captured the centric days here. In date is coming as a current date, and start date I have selected this one.
Okay. I got a note of that.
Okay. Thank you. So then, where did you leave off on Friday?
Yeah. So Friday, I made last touches to that notification where we brought the bell in and we changed some of the wording.
Mhm.
And then I submitted a PR and it's approved. It's in. Now, after that, I switched over to fixing edit trust tips, where it was basically when you edit it, you don't see you don't see the previous trust tip. So now you do see it. It should be. I'll have that part of the PR today. I also looked into that problem where me and you and Todd were talking about when you click X and you click on a favorite. We wanted to disable the buttons so we don't run into that problem. Like if somebody clicks X real quick and then goes and clicks on the favorite. I mean, I was able to disable the buttons. The only problem I ran into with that was when I made that change, I started seeing some weird behavior with saves. It was like lotties were like repeating
Mhm.
and displaying twice. Um, and it's probably due to like a deeper problem. But that screen was, I don't know if you remember, Nozercon says so it needs a bit of refactoring, a bit of work, which I kind of don't want to open a can of worms. So I kind of reverted my changes because if I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of like, oh, this, and they have to update this because it's working now.
This
At
is
least
where he was able to hit the favorite button twice, real quick.
not hit it twice when you click on X and then you
After
click
X.
the favorite button real quick
I see.
before it closes.
Mm-hmm.
So the solution was easy. It's just that there was side effects that were due to probably poor code in that flow to begin with. Because the solution was just keeping track of a state and if the X is clicked, disable the buttons. But probably because some kind of poor state management or something in that screen that causes it when I do add that state, I start seeing a lot of these replay and behavior that we don't want. So what I'm saying is if I want to go down that path, it's probably going to take me a while to figure everything out. And it's just, I don't know if I want to touch that flow if it's currently working, other than that specific edge case. But like if it's overall working, I don't want to, because it's a big flow. So, and it's connected in a way where, like I said, I'm not a fan of the method it was all developed, but
Yeah.
like I don't want to break anything else unintentionally thinking I fixed one thing and then
Right.
you test it and then like, oh, this is not working anymore, or this is not working anymore. So that's why I kind of like, because like I don't know if I want to do this now. I do want to eventually visit that code and kind of clean it up when we have time,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to make that its own thing, like its own project.
Okay. Is it?
So that specific
I mean,
problem
it
I
is
did not
working.
touch. And then what's that?
it is working. So I mean, is it causing any other issues that you can think of in the app?
No, it's just like if you click X, then you click like the favorite real quick right before the allow you to save the displays. That's the only bug I'm aware of.
But you did solve that? Or no?
Well, I'm saying the solution ended to other side effects, which so therefore I averted it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's where I'm saying I don't want to go down the path of like, okay, fixing this and then something else coming up, and then next thing you know, I touched like 8-10 files, and then like, okay, is the whole flow working again? You need to do excessive testing all over for that specific flow. So if that's something we want to do, and you want me to spend time on, I can.
Maybe not. I mean, I'd like to solve that problem, but without causing other problems. You're saying that's not really realistic.
Well, it's not that the fact that that fix caused a problem tells me there's something wrong with the code. Like a deeper problem exists
Yeah.
in that whole flow, and that's why I'm saying it's going to probably take quite a bit of refactoring and like thinking it through before we come to like a stable solution. So if it's working now, is what I'm saying is, and we don't want to spend much time on it, I would probably push that down to like a time where we want to focus on that and give it like it's a proper attention, because it's kind of a big there's a lot of screws involved in that specific flow, the whole favorite saves, all that.
Okay. Hold on a second. There's definitely some problems with our feeds. Look, I'm going to put this one in development. I want you and Amin to look at it. The Discover feed, and I want to go back a couple builds. It's never really been quite this bad, and I'm wondering if it's re-rendering. So if you were to just go and scroll real slow on the Discover feed, this is just a real short screen record I put on into the development channel here. If you notice at the very end here, the whole thing just pops right up at the end. And I can repeat this over and over. That's like a really big jump. I kind of want to compare this to like build from maybe 10, 15 builds ago. I don't think it was doing quite this. Is it possible a card came in? But I wasn't. I
Might
really
have.
didn't go very.
That is a possibility, but is it reproducible like every single time?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Yeah, no. So it's not a card.
So what's the steps? You just scroll up or
Yeah,
down.
I'm going down with my thumb. So grab it and just kind of roll and just go down. You don't have to take your thumb off of the feed. Just keep your thumb on a card and just come down, 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 and it'll go up, down, up, down, up, down. It actually even flashes a little bit like a re-render.
Let's try it. I'm gonna close the app maybe when it paginates.
No, not paginate. I'm just here. I'll send you another example. I'm just going there, right there. What is that? Okay, I'm gonna do it in slow motion too. It's got to be re-rendering, right here. The screen record.
Can't interpret.
Screen record doesn't even catch. Let me crop it even more so I can try and get. So I can move my thumb slower on this.
So I have to like go super slow.
Pretty slow. Mine here. I mean, I can do this multiple times. Here's another example of it. What the screen record isn't really capturing is this, like, there's a frame, it seems like, where the feed re-renders.
Okay, I saw that blink.
Yeah.
It's just how do you reproduce it? Like, is a
Just take-
certain card you like? I can't do it on my feed, so maybe it's like a card you have or something.
And I can kind of grab it wherever, though. I mean, any part of the feed.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna scroll down to a random spot in the feed.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to do the same. I'm not getting the exact behavior though. And I'm on my physical phone.
If you take your thumb and put it at the very top where it says discover,
Mm-hmm.
grab a card and come down. Don't take your thumb off.
Mm-hmm.
Just come down to where you get to the home button. You will by the time you get to the home button, it jumps quite a bit.
It did not for me. It's just going with my finger. Can anybody else reproduce this?
I have, I'm on a iPhone Pro Max. Maybe my screen's a little bit longer, but it definitely gets more pronounced.
I think it happened. I saw a little re-render, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
you saw it, right?
I mean, I see a little blink every now and then.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, if it
pressing
goes super slow, I see a little blink every now and then.
Yeah, well, if you have a long enough phone, when you get to the bottom, it's much more pronounced.
It doesn't happen with every scroll for me. Looks like it's a certain chord.
Yeah, the real big flash isn't happening every time.
Okay, kind of see the problem here, but it's gonna be a weird one to debug.
Is it a re-render?
I don't know. I don't know. Could be that if it's related to this new iOS stuff. That's kind of it just messes with your head because like you can't really like when iOS was stable, you always know it's you.
Mm-hmm.
But now that it's not, like, could it be to the new iOS build? Is it something we're doing wrong?
Right.
How consistent is it? Is this
Yeah.
happening in other apps? Can you do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
not quite
Walmart?
like that. Like in this particular amount of jumpy is more than it ever was on ours. That's why I was saying, like, maybe if we went back a few
Is it
builds.
happening on the home feed as well?
Let's see. Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
Okay. We really didn't change any logic here. Let me see. How about chat? If you go to chat and you do the same thing, would you notice
Let's see.
any kind of flickering or jumping?
Let me try the lobby. Yeah, I mean, it does it in the lobby as well.
See, that's where I start saying when
But
iOS is not
like,
stable, you're always doubting. Is it me or is it them?
it's not the re-render though. Like where I see, I mean, it's a little bit jumpy on the lobby scroll, but the Discover feed seems like it's re-rendering occasionally.
Yeah. Well, when you see the render, it's mostly on the images, so
Yeah, the images.
maybe go to a chat with images in it.
Okay. I
Let's
think
see
Amin
who's-
actually had a theory about why. Did we talk about that last week? Were images re-rendering, on the Discover feed?
Just no, it was like the profile.
That's right. It was the profile.
Yeah,
You
I mean, I
you
worked
fixed,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah, I worked on it and I fixed it.
Could it possibly be a similar problem on the Discover feed?
Um, I don't know. Like, I'm not really sure about what was happening in the profile. Just how we having the tree of components. So the image component was like living in a component that doesn't need to be there, and some state for the parent component was re-rendering the image even if it was not needed to. So that was the issue there. But I don't here in the list as we scroll with each new data, maybe the coming in of the data causes the renders. Yes, man.
It's super smooth on Android.
Hmm.
Like really smooth and very accurate. I can tell there's a much
Mhm.
smoother, like especially when you're going slower, you really feel it.
Right.
So if it was a re-rendering problem, you will see it on both devices, guaranteed,
Hmm.
because it's JavaScript, which runs on both devices.
Hmm.
So I'm not saying it's not us 100%, but like I said, with iOS not being as stable with these lists, it just like you're always saying, is it me or is it them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't like to remove that possibility that it is us. It's just if it's not us and we're chasing a ghost, you can see how that can get frustrating and time consuming.
Yeah.
Do you have an Android?
I can't
Do you
find
want
it.
to try doing the same on Android? See if you get any kind of flickering.
I haven't been able to find it. I actually was able to do something twice now, which is really bizarre. I'm able to get the scroll to go reverse in the chat. Like when I go down with my thumb, it goes up until I let go. Now it's back to normal. I think. Oh, I know how to do it. If you grab the conversation slightly above the line, so like where the topics are, it'll go the reverse.
Oh,
That's weird, huh?
interesting.
Yeah. But it is also jumpy here in a chat with a lot of images. So, well, okay. So, you don't think there's a re-render issue then on the images on the feed cards?
Are you talking to me or I mean?
That was a mean.
I don't know. If you just see in the image flickering, yeah, it could be. Like it should be every image. If
But
every,
it doesn't do it on Android. Also, like I I
yeah,
I tried Android. I mean, go ahead, John. I want you to try Android. It's super smooth.
Yeah, I can't find my Android right now.
yeah, if it's not both, then I mean, it's not rendering. Because if it's a rendering, it will happen in both platforms.
Yeah. Okay.
I think iOS, what is it? 8.19 is coming out or 18? Uh,
19.
19. Yeah. I mean,
It's really bad if you background the app. So, like, if you scroll down in the Discover feed, you background the app, or go to like I went to chat and then I came back to Discover feed. Now it's really prominent, like re-rendering constantly. Let me screen record this. What is that? This time it did it really pronounced. I might be able to catch it on slow motion to see, is it actually re-rendering?
Can we have Shawntelle maybe and Todd also back me up on Android? I just want to make sure they can't reproduce it on Android. Because like I said, I can reproduce on mine. I just want to see if they can or cannot on theirs, just to help kind of have a better idea, honestly. If because like we need to know if it's a native or a React Native problem. React Native will affect both platforms guaranteed. Um, Native will not.
Okay. So I'm just scrolling on the feed or and pictures in a chat.
No, you're scrolling. Yeah, just go to Discovery,
Mhm.
scroll slowly, like very slow, and see if you see any blinking, jitteriness. I guess is the word. It's not. Is it not smooth? Is it blinking? Is it, are things going out of place a little bit? Is there any jumping?
No.
And just go like very slow.
I'm going fairly slow. I'm not experiencing anything.
So bad.
Do you think? I mean, it could be related to the problem in iOS, or do you think it could be something else?
I don't think that it's the iOS. I think why, because we see it in iOS, not Android, is because the implementation of the list on Flash list it's different. Because Flash list under the hood uses native lists. So in Android it has its component, iOS has its component. So maybe that implementation it's has issues on iOS. That's why it's not.
So you're saying it's not iOS?
Yeah, I don't think so.
But you just said it's so what do you so wait, I'm a little confused. You said they're implemented differently on both iOS and Android.
Flash list.
Flashlist is correct. So
Hmm. I mean, not the iOS, the system. Like, if that what you meant because of the update of the iOS.
yeah, no, but yeah, because the iOS update actually does cause the jitteriness with the new React Native. Like the new,
If-
if you have React Native on the new, if you have React Native app, I don't know about natives, but if you have the React Native apps on the iOS 18, all apps, even like John said, if you go to like Walmart or any app which uses React Native, you will see it being a little jittery, not smooth. So that's a known problem.
If that's yeah, that's all I'm saying. If that's the case, no problem. I guess people will be reporting it to Flash list, and it will be fixed by this time. It would be fixed.
Well, it could be a problem with the system itself. So it could be also a problem with native apps. Like, you know what I mean? It could be a problem on the iOS
In, in
level.
this in this case, I don't think.
Well,
Like,
and here, and I'm not talking about like, just to be clear, I'm talking about the like the jitteriness. Like, John, I don't know. Do you remember if this was affecting native apps, not React Native?
I'm not sure.
Where people, I don't know who did the research on this. I don't know if it was, but if it is also an effective native apps, then Flash just can't do anything either.
no, but what I meant, yeah, they can find a fix and apply it. I don't think they
Well, if it's
anyone find a fix for
what I'm
this.
saying is, if this is affecting native apps, like on the native level, like if you're writing in Swift and you're still seeing this
No,
because of
but
iOS,
still, but still, I think people will find a fix, even if iOS did that job. People will find a fix to
mm,
work. So, if it's the case, then there must be a fix out there, like on the native level. So,
Is there and are there any other updates?
what version are we using, Ismail?
what's that? What version am I using?
No, the flash list we're using, the version.
Oh no, we're using the latest. We updated it not
Oh,
too
the
long ago.
latest. Okay,
Yeah,
and
remember we did the update a while back, or not a while back, but not too long ago. Didn't we update it? Let me double check.
if that's the case, then maybe let's look inside the GitHub issues and see if anyone reporting Jenkins for iOS.
Yeah, it happens on other apps too, but not as bad as ours. All right, let's move on. I keep coming back to this, but I don't know. I'm on the Yelp app and it's doing something similar. It's not as bad, but it's definitely doing something similar. Where it was jumpy. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely jumpy. Very similar.
Okay, it looks like we're not on the latest flash list. Looks like we are on a recent one. We updated, I think, looks like 2 months ago. But ever since the 2 months, new updates have been released. I think we're at 17.3. I think 8 was released last week.
17.8 or 18?
No, we're on 1.73. 1.8 was released.
Okay. So that's a big change, right?
Uh, could be. I think version 2 is an alpha also.
Hmm.
Well, that's gonna be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Should we try and update it?
well, let's see what they fixed first. See if look at the releases, see if we can find anything related to this. What changed? So it looks like we're at 1.3, 1.3 to 1.5. Resolve React Native ref warnings. Is that all I've been seeing? Is that the ref warnings we keep seeing? On 13, I mean. From 13 to 15 says they resolved the ref warnings. Is that why every time I open the app, you see like 100 warnings? I think it happened after you updated flash list, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure I'm following.
Oh, I'm just remember every time we open the app now we get like 100 warnings or something, like rough warnings.
Okay.
That's so they're saying now right now we're at point 1.7.3 and 1.7.5 they said they fixed the resolved React 19 rough warnings. Do you think that will fix the 100 warnings we keep getting as soon as you open the app? I think that happened after you updated flash list, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. I like
No.
can you
Okay.
rephrase it slowly because cannot follow.
Yeah. So when you first open the app, we get like 100 rough
Mhm.
warnings. If you are you familiar with those?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they started popping up? I think it was after we upgraded flash list. No.
Well, I can see them. Most of them are related to what is called require cycles or some. Yeah,
Oh.
require cycles. Like
Mm-hmm.
so, none of them has anything with flash lists.
That's flash list. Okay. Well, it started popping up. I remember all of a sudden.
It's just because how we do imports and we end
But
up.
it just happened all of a sudden. Like it wasn't always there. Like one change. Like I remember after one PR got merged in, they just started popping up. I don't know. Maybe it's not
Yeah,
related to this.
like, you
Maybe
can
it
see
is.
all the. I mean, I'm scrolling all through the warnings, and it has nothing to
Yeah.
do with file. Sorry, flash list. It's all required cycle, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But yeah, the updates we did may introduce this issue. So, but I guess we did it for a reason because we had other issues. I
I
mean,
think we were trying to resolve issues, but anyways, I'm looking at the flash list updates. None of them seem to tackle this specific problem with iOS.
also look into the issues tab in GitHub. Like you might find someone, other people reporting
Mm.
this because in the comments sometimes you find that someone how He fixed it,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe we can find that. If it is that common, I'm sure someone will report it.
Did you find anything in there?
No, I did not search yet.
So, what do you think about updating the flash list library?
I think
It's just using the latest, so
yeah, we can, but I don't know if it would necessarily make a difference. But it's not. I mean, it's not a bad. It's always a good idea to use the latest.
Yeah. Okay. And when did it come out?
Hmm?
When did it come out?
March 28th.
Okay. What do you think, Amin? Should we upgrade?
wait, aren't we using the latest Ismail? I'm not sure how we can.
We're a few behind. They've released a few after we updated.
Oh, okay.
We're not too much behind, but we are. It's not like the latest.
If they did not mention anything in the change log of they did fixes for specifically iOS or slowness.
I just see mainly it says resolved 19 ref warnings. That's about it.
Yeah,
And then one of them says it just added common APIs needed for RLV directly to flash list. So not sure what that is.
well, that's the recycle list view using for iOS. Because that component, it's for like the iOS native list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so added common APIs needed for that. So we can try. I mean, like I said, having the latest is good. So we'll see if it makes a difference.
Okay. All right. So then let's try that, and then what else did you leave off on Friday?
I was also working on the in-app review. So it is all removed the filters, so it should be working for everyone. And iOS looks like it is working. I don't know if anybody tested it, like who's outside that circle.
We did
But
try on Todd's phone.
but on Android, on the other hand, I can't seem to see it. Even though I saw it work before on my device when when I had the the list of user keys. I made sure it was working on my device and I saw it, but now I can't seem to get it to pop up again, even though I didn't touch the code, which is weird for me. So um, I'm just seeing why that's the case. It's a little time consuming because I have to keep sometimes I don't know if it works on my local environment. So what I do is I create builds and then sometimes I create it on my local, sometimes I create it and then upload it through app distribution. So I'm trying all of these different methods. But yeah, so far I can't get it to pop up on Android. So I don't know if the configuration got changed in other files. So I'm checking that right now. So yeah, and that's let me see, and yeah, and then I have the last problem, which I still haven't reached a solution, is that the pagination, which we have a temporary solution right now, with Jerry's fix, but it is still calling it twice. And even though we're handling it, I want to see why it's calling it twice. So I haven't reached to a conclusion there yet either.
Okay. Todd here? No. I'm almost positive we tried it on his iPhone and the modal did not come up on his iPhone.
Yeah, that's on his iPhone it didn't.
Yeah.
Well, was he in a new Apple account? Like, first of all,
Yeah.
he has to delete the app and reinstall it,
Yeah. It was a brand new account.
and then not a brand new Circles account, but a brand new Apple
Everything.
account.
Yeah. It was all that.
And what version was he on? Because remember, it was locked, and we just unlocked it. I don't think we. I think
Yeah, it was,
27 has the unlocked, so
it was build 27. Yeah.
it was okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, did he do 3 actions?
Yeah. More than that.
Okay. So sending 3 messages will trigger. I also tested 3 messages, and it is triggering the actions, like it's working properly.
Okay.
I mean, I can see it on my local. It's working fine. But you're saying on a real device, it's not.
Let me make sure it was iPhone. I'll ask
Because
him.
you told me Android wasn't working, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Because on iOS, I've tested it. I mean, did you guys see it on iOS, or did it pop up for you guys?
I've never seen it.
You sure? I'm pretty sure you did. No.
I've seen it in QA. But I've never seen it in production.
Okay. Mm.
But you had me hard coded as one of the people too. That was a long time
Well,
ago.
yeah, but it was you weren't hardcoded. You were just part of a list. So,
Right.
like, it was just think about it as an extra condition that you had to meet.
Yeah.
So now that list is removed, so it's just open for everyone. But if it worked for you when you're in the list, it would work for you when you're outside of, like, when that list is removed. So the hard coded wasn't for you to pop up to your device. It was just to say, hey, you're part of the people that you can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
Let me see here. Yeah. So you're saying Todd is not getting the app review modal in Build 27 on his Android. If you go back to our Slack messages, so it wasn't iOS.
when was that?
That was Friday.
On Android?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I can confirm that. Yeah, I can't see it on Android at the moment, so I'm trying to fix that. But I think it should be working fine on iOS.
All right. I'll try and test it again. I mean, I know he was on an iOS testing too. All right. We'll figure it out. So what else?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I'd like to get a build to test with. I've had a lot going on this weekend, so I don't remember everything we left off on, but you fixed some bugs, and I know, Amin, you were looking into some onboarding issues, right? Did you get how far did you get with that?
No, we were working on the new query, the list, suggestions list that goes in the onboarding SOT.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we finished that. Like I sent you videos on how it's gonna be, and we're handling all the cases and everything. So
Let me see.
yeah, so the
Did,
PR is,
did this
huh?
make it in?
Huh?
Has this made it into the app?
Has this made what?
Have your changes made it into the app?
No, I mean the PR is still up for review. Yeah, it's man needs to review it so we can merge it.
Okay. Can you do that, Ismail, and get a build soon? Because I want to test it on some different phones. Oh yeah, I have a few more things. Sorry, I mean I'm getting ahead of my memories. I didn't bother telling you because
Mm-hmm.
it was a long day, long week. But there's just some random stuff like the on on an Android test phone. When Todd onboarded, I have a screen record. It was a Canadian flag instead of the American flag when you enter your phone number, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of weird. It's still +1, I guess. Canada and America use the same country code, so like he was still able to onboard, but it's just kind of odd. And there's a couple other little things. Let me find it. Sorry, I've got so much on my mind right now. Let me I don't even know where to send it. I got so many different applications. Let's see. Did I put it in my photo library? It would be the easiest. I don't think I have it there though. So we got a few issues here. This is a really small and kind of older. It's not that old, so maybe like 3 years old Android, but here's one screenshot. Here's another one.
Hmm.
But let me find the one with the with the Canadian flag on it.
So this is a really small device, right?
Yeah. He told me the type. It's a 2022 S21 FE. So F is in Frank, E is in elephant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's that many of those. But perhaps we can solve the Canadian flag issue. That was kind of weird.
Wait, so the user selected the US and the Canadian, and he typed the phone number, and it changes to the Canadian.
No, it actually slid in with the Canadian flag. Let me share screen record.
I don't think we also select the country for the phone number you entering. It's like the user who select that.
It does some type of like location based something or other, right?
Yes, yep, that's correct. Yep, the first one, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there it is. I got it on screen record. Let me send this. Well, I'll go a little further because then the next screen it actually has like an American flag version. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh yeah, and there was another issue. Let me let it keep recording. Come on. Okay, got that part too. Okay, let me clip this 1 second. Okay, so here's the Canadian flag situation. You know, I didn't even know this. Tori just told me, Ismail and Shawntelle. If you want to pause notifications on an iPhone, you can just slide left on the notification from your lock screen, hit options, and you get a choice of mute for 1 hour, mute for today, or turn off all Circles notifications. So, it's actually already there in at least on iOS. And I just did it right now because one of the chats is giving me tons of notifications, which makes me wonder if like
I think that does it on all of Circles.
Any
No.
notification you swipe left on.
Yeah, but will it apply to the whole Circles app or just a specific group chat?
I think just that group.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, no, it does because it says at the top, Circles, the Maggot Army. That's on that one. And then this one's, oh shit, I just cleared it. This one's Circles, Zodiac Zone. So yeah, it's literally exactly what we just designed and built. That's already built into iOS.
Now you tell me.
I know. Well, I know. That's what I told Tori yesterday. I'm like, now you're telling me this? I literally just found this out yesterday.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Well, is the same available for Android?
I don't know about that. But yeah, it's kind of shitty. Anyway, thought that was kind of like funny in a not funny way.
I mean, we don't know about it, so maybe a lot of people don't either. So it could
But
still
that's
be
the thing. I
useful.
guess they don't. She's like on her phone a lot. Kind of younger generation. So maybe I'm sure it's a generational thing. Anyway, let's continue. So, did you catch that screen record there? I mean, see how the
Yeah.
flag comes in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I'm going to screen record send you a different one of like it re-renders the auth code input field 2 after um after Todd had entered the auth code. It re-renders again. I hate that. Which I thought we fixed. Actually, maybe you could take a look at this one too. I'll throw this into development because I know you've worked on this Lottie re-render situation, and since it means looking into that Canadian flag, let me send this. Where's development? Guess we'll type it. Okay, there. Okay, it's sending. So basically, if you take a look at the video I just sent, enters the auth code, navigates, but there's like this quick re-render of
That's odd. Yeah, I'll go take a look at that.
okay. Which you fixed that before, right?
Yeah, I think for that screen it did. So I'll have to see what's happening again.
Okay. What do you think about that Canadian flag? I mean, what's going on there?
That could be let me put the code there. So what's going on there? Um,
You can also see in the screen record in development how everything's colliding because we don't have the buttons close enough to the keyboard. I think you also looked at that, Ismail, and you were saying, or maybe Amin looked at it. It was going to be challenging to get the inputs closer to like the keyboard. So like the forward button, you can see how it's all, and the resend, the text button is like it's over the top of the numbers input field for the numbers.
Oh, no, that shouldn't be the case. I see it's happening on an Android.
Well, it happens on small phones
It happens on small phones, yeah.
because see how high those sit above the keyboard.
It's probably because the Android also has that navigator at the bottom as well.
Yeah, but it happens on small iPhones too, where it's not necessarily colliding, but it's like
Super close.
yeah.
Yeah, that Well, I can look into as well. It's probably a style change. I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna should be too bad to fix.
I wouldn't think so. I think Amin looked at it and he said it wasn't going to be a quick fix. Do you
Oh,
remember
really?
Amin looking at that, the keyboard with the buttons not sitting like right on the key, like right above it? I think he looked into the components.
On which screen? I know, like, so I can
It's
remember exactly.
really all the screens in onboarding where you have the buttons that are sitting on top of the keyboard, like the forward button or back button. They don't sit right at the keyboard level. They hover quite a bit higher on all devices. Like that's just how it was built. And I think you looked into it with me a few weeks ago, and we
Okay.
decided just to leave it because you're saying the way the component was made, it's not just like a straightforward fix. Um,
I mean, um, honestly, I don't remember this conversation,
mhm.
but maybe said that because how we have onboarding, everything set up there. But I don't think. I mean, the fix is obvious. It's not like something new or we cannot do. It's just maybe how we have onboarding. But like the fix can be done. Um, I'm not sure why old me says something like that.
Not sure why. What?
I'm not sure why old me said like it's not straightforward. But like yeah, the fix in my mind, it's can be done. Maybe it will take time to do it because how we have onboarding there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's put that as like the third priority. Keep looking into the Canadian flag thing, and then Ismail, if you could look into the re-render of that screen.
Yeah, to count.
So I looked into the Canadian flag, and we have like a comment says we make sure US is returned instead of Canada.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going. So it looks up the code. If the code it's a one, then it's go and it returns the US flag.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure how we. So yeah, that's how it is. So I will see how I can do a fix for this. Well, maybe we did it at the time where we were only supporting US. You know, we're only like US phone numbers and everything, and we did this. So we make
What's
sure.
interesting is it brings the U.S. flag on the next screen, if you noticed it. And I've onboarded many times, and I've never seen the Canadian flag. That's what
Me,
that's what's
me
really weird.
neither. Well,
It was this one time for Todd on a brand new phone.
let me see why.
Let me try again on another phone, just for fun.
Oh, I see what's going on. Maybe you sit in your because what we do and let's get country. We get the country that was set in the phone settings. That's why. I'm not sure how is that. You should Canada instead of US. Let's see. So yeah, we get the country code based what's on the device locale, which is Maybe you're using English like the Canadian English in your phone settings.
Hmm. Why do you think so?
It's like in the phone settings when you select the language of your phone, and there's the option to select the English, and there are different English countries. The one that is selected there, it must be the Canadian English.
Oh, interesting. So maybe when he set up his phone, he picked Canadian English.
Yeah,
Now, why does that affect the location? I mean, I thought we were using location to determine.
not no, not we're not using location. We're using the country you selected in your phone.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's how it is.
Okay. Should we use location?
I mean, what if the user? We don't have the permission for location yet, I guess.
Yeah, probably not.
So will be restricted if user not allowing. Okay, even if we try to grant it as soon as the app opens, maybe user will not. So would not be able to know which country to show.
I see. Okay, so you're pretty confident he set Canada as his phone country.
Well, we so to get the flag, we have this function called get country.
Hmm.
And when I looked up and I read on it, the author says returns the user current country code based on its device locale. Means like on the device settings, whatever the user selected there, that's what we get.
Hmm. Okay. Well, then I guess there's nothing to really fix. Maybe it was just a user error there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um,
But there's one change that I will do is like for the first one, like
mhm.
as you soon as you open that phone screen, that's what we use. We use the country, but if a user like selected, like because there's a function here, another function. Let me see where it's been used. And default value. Yeah, if a user changed the country himself to let me see, because I need to do some logs to see when this being changed. Because in like yeah, as I was explaining, there's we retrieve the flag to like in two steps. The first step is as soon as you land in the phone screen, and that's the one we get in from the device settings. The second one is like when the user changes something. It just says default value, so I don't know what's that default value refers to. Maybe it's the phone number. As the user is changing the phone number, we try again to go and see. Yeah, it's the phone number. Yep, it's the phone number. So
Yeah. Well, when he entered the phone number, it changed to the American flag, so it like did a check. So that part worked.
okay, yeah, that's now makes sense because there's like a hard code word like code there that says if this is a plus one,
Mhm.
always change it to the US.
Except in the case where he had Canada set at his. Are you talking about on the second step? It'll change to the U.S.
Yeah, the second step is will change the US because like we're doing a tweak. So if someone from Canada, this will show him the US as well.
We probably
As just
shouldn't do that, right?
yeah, we should not. And I get and this is really old code. We did it when we were only supporting US, so we should be. I will be removing this.
Okay, perfect. Cool. Thank you. And then let me know when you're done. I have another question for you.
I mean, yeah, I'm done removing that code.
Please.
But yeah, easy. So I was just looking into the issue of the notification, the join group notification. Still
Mm.
looking into. Um, But yeah,
Uh,
go ahead. Tell me what's that.
okay. Let me share my screen. You in which part of notifications?
The join group notification, the one that Jerry reported.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't bringing them into the group. Right, right. Okay. Did we fix this yet? So this is a new onboard. I had a friend connect here, boom, boom, boom. And then so navigating me to their profile. Let me back up a little bit. Sorry. So I went too fast. So let me back up more. Okay. So I did friend connect. Nice job. Navigates me to the friend profile for Aaron. Okay. All good. Then, a few seconds later, we get start the combo. So all good there. Then I selected one, but what happened is when after I selected it, which one? This one. You'll see that a text is already there. I think you have seen this now a couple times. I didn't type anything, but it already says hi.
Yeah. I think this is related what Shawntelle shared, and yeah,
Mhm.
Ismail, you were not here, but when I was looking into this, it is related to how we persist the text.
Mm, didn't that get fixed?
Hmm.
This is build 27. And you
Mm,
can see here in my lobby that I did say hi to my main account. So I was imagining that's where it came from, even though this was going
mm.
to somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. It has something to do with that persist.
So
Gotta
what I did
fix that.
initially is like I made that persistence optional because in some places we don't need that. So, but I guess in here, since this screen has the chat, we need to do, I guess we need to, the fix is like after the message is being sent, you need to clear that, whatever the fat value, that's it. There need to be cleared.
But it is cleared after you send it.
Hmm.
This had to do with something else. It was setting the ID. Um, where mm, I guess
Just
if it
just give
was
me two.
if it had like an empty string as an ID, it would think they
Oh,
were all the same thing.
okay, I see. I see.
Yeah, because like if it doesn't have a user key or a topic key, it would just have nothing as the ID.
So yeah,
So
they are.
because over here you don't have a group key or a
Oh wait,
topic key.
no wait. Like, and John, when you send that hi, did you send it from a compose screen or from the chat itself?
Well, it was 5 days ago. If you
No,
look at,
no, you can send it through the chat.
um,
But I was asking, like, when you wanted to say
oh, how
to
that
send,
was
yeah, is it like
originally.
with the compose or
Let's see.
you had already John chat there and you entered the chat and typed John?
Um, did I type John where?
Like, did you type John from here or from the compose screen? Sorry, hi.
Oh, from
Type
start the combo. Probably from start the combo.
from start the combo, which is the compose screen. So yeah, I guess yeah, you're correct, Ismail. At that point in the compose, there's no group ID. Then all as an empty string.
So yeah, probably need to find a way to maybe if there's no ID to not update maybe the state or something of that nature, which I thought I fixed by doing. Maybe I fixed one thing, but I didn't fix
This
it.
little,
Maybe I think I fixed it from because I used to do it even if you send it just from a regular message, just whatever your last message was. I think it doesn't do that anymore. Let me check. Um, if I go to compose, yeah, it doesn't do that anymore. But I guess it saves it from a different compose screen. Hmm. Well, it's always there, weirdly enough. So the place that saves it. So like if you just go to compose and you just type in like the letter, like R, and then you hit cancel, and then you go back. You don't see it, but I don't see a pattern here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. There's just yeah. I need to see what the pattern is. It's weird because if right now if you just go to compose and if you just type something and then you don't send it and then you close it and then you go back to compose, you won't see what you just typed there.
So this situation has been following users around. I think Shawntelle also reported it after your first favorite. You know, you do a first favorite, and then it's like, who else would love this? And there's a text input field, and you can share it with people. It was
Maybe it has to do specifically with the ID when it comes with as a start the combo. Maybe there's something there that I need to work on with the IDs or check that somehow still writes it. Yeah, let me test that out.
so. Then I mean, the fix you did was just more like on the surface level.
No, I did like a fix where well the way how I so the issue back then it was like it was affecting some screens where we don't need persistence of that chat of that text.
Mm-hmm.
How I did it, but it seems the issue appears even on the screens where we need persistence. So yeah.
So then, did your fix apply?
My fix will only apply on some screens where we don't need persistence. For example, after like you just did a favorite where you're being asked to create a group that like we don't need it, it doesn't matter.
I see.
I think there's another screen that I did it just like it's not there in the it's not in it. Shawntelle sent it to me Friday, so I did it too. I don't remember which screen. It was like maybe in sharing something. Um, b- but yeah, I did it there as well. But those screens we don't really need to persist whatever the type in. In here we do. The compose, right, Ismail? Do we?
Sorry, what was that? What was your last question?
Like as the user type in here in the compose, do we need it?
Not in start the combo.
No. So like when you type in compose and you go back in, it won't save it right now. So,
Mhm.
but I think something about start the combo makes does save it. I think this is just a theory because
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and try to reproduce it. Like go ahead, go to compose, type a few letters, close the app, go back to compose. It won't be there.
So
No,
like,
the compose screen. No,
Okay,
new
well,
chat.
yeah. Just type anything in the text and then cancel, and then try to open compose again. So see, it didn't get saved.
yeah.
Now try sending a message actually. Just like send a dummy message to anyone,
Okay.
and just like yeah. Okay, so now go back to compose. Again, not saved. So that was a problem. We used to actually save it. So that's been fixed.
Okay.
So sending them, and then just send a regular message through chat, like cancel, go to like just like send the message from here,
Look,
which also used to save it.
but look, can you see
Well,
that?
this one because you had it there. Remember, you actually
Well,
typed decimal, but you
okay.
never sent it. So
Okay, good.
that's valid. It should do that.
Okay.
Okay, so now if you go to compose again, it used to have test2 here in the past, which it doesn't now. So
Okay.
now can you try sending a message via what's it called?
There's some extra re-render that happens on this now that didn't used to be there. It'll probably be easier if I record it and slow it down. It doesn't do it like if I'm just in the conversation and I send a message. This is like really clean, like nice and easy. But when I go here and do it, oops, and then you'll get a better feel for it with a bigger one. Okay, so it's gonna like make all the messages above go gray, and you'll just try and catch it. I don't know how well it's gonna translate, but I'm gonna hit send now. There was a couple re-renders, and
Well, it did transition between two different screens.
is that what it was? Okay,
Yeah, because you have that was the compose screen. This is the mesh screen. They're not the same.
yeah. I feel like this is a newer thing, though.
Mm, I wouldn't think so.
Hmm. Okay. Well, let's get back to this situation. So, what do you think about this one?
Yeah. So now, can you somehow get a compose start the convo? Like, is there an easy way to trigger it?
Let me think. Yeah, Frank Connect. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything I need to do? You need to do?
Let's see if I can just. Did not navigate me. Why not?
I clicked on not now.
Is that why it didn't navigate me?
Mm.
Let's try again.
Yeah. I think you can just hit skip here, or you don't have to send anything here.
Okay, here we go. And
You can just type something.
there's nothing there.
Oh, and you clicked on the message. No, when you clicked on the message, it takes you here. Okay, I see. So just type something here.
Mhm.
Send it. Okay, now go back to compose.
Here.
That even did trigger. Okay, then what did trigger it? Weird.
It was the reverse. I had sent a message from start to convo. Well, and then I went to do another start to convo. So let's try that. So it'll probably bring hello back in. Let's see. It asked me about Shawntelle again. I already said yes. I think I said yes on Shawntelle. Maybe not. So now it's not there.
Hmm.
Hmm.
What was the message that was in there? It was hi.
It was hi. This was a message that had been sent. As you can see, I'll go forward in the screen record. You can see it was sent to John Worthington 5 days ago.
Weird.
What is the solution?
Well, I have to find how to reproduce it first.
Hmm.
Okay, here, let me put it on my to do.
You want me to say the screen record?
No, it's
Okay.
okay.
Hey Jerry,
Yep.
I said in my friend connect, I said John is friends with Aaron. See that there? Okay, then we got here, and we got this. I thought we were removing John from the list.
Let me check.
Okay.
So this is you doing a friend connect or your test phone?
Test phone.
Okay. So let me do this.
while you're looking at that, let me go to Wells because we're eating up a lot of time. Hey Wells, how are you doing? Can we get an update?
Yes, sir. Doing great. All the stuff I was working on are for review in the PR.
Okay.
So I did up an API for the changes in the chat, changing that thing that we worked on Friday, the changing your name to you in many different instances in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's for review. And then you mentioned you would like me to work on something else on Friday. I don't remember exactly what, but I'm available to that. And also for Ismail on the refactoring if needed.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to there's a couple things I want you to take a look at. One of them probably need to work with the back end on as well, but it had to do with showing the name of the contact. So like the name of the user in the app in onboarding, when you see a list of people you know, and then showing their name in your contacts under it. I have a screenshot I can show you to give you an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So let me forward that to you one sec. Okay, so take a look at this.
Hey John, what was that list you got for Aaron Mullins? Like the order for it?
I can send you a screenshot.
Well, yeah, I want to see the cards too, because
Okay.
I don't see John Worthington twice. I cleared out the data to reproduce, hopefully reproduce. Did Aaron Mullins did not add anybody as a friend at that point, correct?
Aaron Mullins, what?
Did not add anybody back as a friend, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so yeah, I only see John Worthington once. I see 11 names in the list, not 16.
So here's the beginning of it.
So the first I have is John Worthington.
Yeah, so Aaron joined, right? And then you get right here, first one, John.
John, okay.
Said yes there.
And
Yes.
yes, okay. Todd, yes.
Then you get to this list.
Then pause that.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's me, Oscar, Will, Orla, Adam Live, Danny.
Don't forget it can change a tiny bit too based on if you're looking at what it is at this moment, it's different than it was when I did this a few minutes ago because I added some people.
So you added some people. Yeah, I want to get it back in that state.
Not that I added them, I just said yes on these cards.
Oh,
But that,
I did remove that you said yes.
oh, okay, because that affects the list.
Right. Yeah. See, yeah, the names I do not see unless it's a different test phone. Let's see. Let's see. Let me make sure this is the correct account. Could you confirm the user key that you have for John's test phone?
Sure.
Okay, 24. Yep, that's what I have. And Aaron Mullins, yeah. See, I don't see Tom Flores in my list. So I don't know if something changed. Was there any activity done? But when was this friend connect done? Just now, was it?
Yeah, it was just now, like a few minutes ago.
Why was Tom Flores in that list? Yeah, I don't see Tom Flores in that list. Let me make sure all this was being pulled correct. Let's see. Where the heck would Tom Flores be? Hmm. Nobody else did a friend connect either, right? Because
What do you mean?
like nobody did a friend connect for Aaron Mullins or Tom Flores. No one interacted with those accounts in
No, not in the last minute, a couple minutes. No.
a couple minutes. I don't.
Well, actually, maybe. I mean, Todd isn't here. Like I did say, Todd knows him, so that's possible. I shouldn't say that. No.
Yeah, that could change it.
Yeah.
Um. Maybe. Could you unfollow Aaron Mullins from your test phone and I'll try again?
Yeah. Okay. Done.
Okay. No, nothing. No, nothing here is different. If you go through the friend connect one more time, could you go through it one more time?
Yeah. Just a sec.
Are you going through the alert?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's go through the alert. We'll see if it how it looks. Okay, John, yeah.
You
Just
want me to say Yes or no?
Yeah, do the same you did before.
Okay.
Danny, yes. Todd, yes. Shawntelle, yes. Where is Tom Flores, John Worth? Are they from your circle of trust, perhaps?
Let's see. Or somebody else's, maybe?
No, are they from yours? I would say from John Saxophone.
No, Tom Flores is.
That's so weird. Where?
But this phone, I think John Worthington was the inviter of this phone.
Is the front end putting anything different in there? Because I do not see those names in my list.
I don't think so. You're not seeing John Worthington or Tom Flores on there.
I see John Worthington. He is very first on the list, but why is he getting replicated back at the bottom?
Right. And then the Tom Flores is in the Circle of Trust.
Oh, this is what after P. Okay, I forgot I changed it to a stored procedure.
Okay.
Okay, this could make it more useful. There we go. Okay, why is John Worthington in there twice? Okay, now I see something. Cool. Procedures. Been a while since I worked on it, but now that lines up. Okay, I was trying to group from both of those sets, and John Worthington is in both of those data sets, so I'll just have it remove out the duplicates.
Okay.
Easy catch.
Just is 27 in the Google Play
Yeah.
Store?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm looking at my code here. It all looks right. I don't see any mistakes in the code. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna call one of my friends. I know he uses an Android. I don't think he reviewed the app yet, so I want to see if he can like install the new version, and I want to walk him through it and see if he can somehow, if he sees the modal or not.
Okay.
Because I've been looking at this for the past like 2 hours, going through everything. I even passed it to AI. I was like, "Do you see any mistakes?" He's like, "Nope, it all looks set up properly." I followed the documentations. It all looks right.
Mm-hmm.
There should be no reason why it shouldn't work.
Right.
So they do say there's inconsistencies with calling this API on different devices, different Androids, different models. But let me see. Let me go check with him, see if he can somehow trigger it.
Okay.
See, I'm just gonna call him on my phone, so I'll be gone for a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
We'll be here. Let me know when you're done with that, Jerry. I have another question.